Hello, all my gorgeous people, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we are going to be talking about Miss Katie Joy, aka Without a Crystal Ball. As most of you are probably aware, the Tati Westbrook versus Without a Crystal Ball defamation lawsuit was dismissed on grounds of jurisdiction this past week. And to say that Miss Katie Joy has been having a field day with all this on social media would be a complete understatement, you guys. And needless to say, it looks as if Katie Joy has learned not even one lesson throughout this whole process. She continues to insert herself in unnecessary drama and spin narratives about things that are just not true. Nick Snyder, Dustin Dailey, and Emily D. Baker are just a few of the ones that have fallen victim to this woman and her crazy antics in the past week. Before we get started, I do want to say that this video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. I will be sharing my own thoughts and opinions on the situation as well, but please, you guys, do not be a petty Betty and show hate to anyone mentioned in this video. With that being said, let's do it. So the first situation we are going to be talking about is the Nick Snyder, Dustin Dailey situation. For those of you not familiar with them, they are commentators here on the YouTube platform, and they have been in their own little drama here as of late. If you guys would like me to break that down in another video, let me know in the comments and I will gladly do so. But in response to all of the drama that Nick and Dustin are currently in, Nick did tweet this on his Twitter saying, "So remember how Tati sent 4 cease and desist before she actually sent the lawsuit? So far, I've only sent 1. People quickly forget and go back to their harassment. Go on, keep uploading." And because Nick used the Tati Without a Crystal Ball lawsuit as an example in this tweet, you guys know Katie Joy had a lot to say. So the Twitter drama started with Katie's response to Nick's tweet, which says, "Hey, remember when Dustin and Nick harassed me so badly and gloated about my lawsuit, then gleefully enjoyed pushing me to the edge of my mental health while laughing that I would sue them? Aren't they now lawsuits, yet criticize me for doing the same?" Okay, so number one, yes, Dustin and Nick have talked about the lawsuit and Katie Joy on their channel, but to be quite frank, at this point, every commentator has, because it's been a pretty big situation here on YouTube. And to be honest, Dustin and Nick have not talked about the lawsuit or Katie Joy nearly as much as other commentators here on YouTube, myself included. Also, we all know that Katie went around threatening to sue pretty much anyone that mentioned her name at the time, and yeah, it was pretty ironic and funny since she herself was in a defamation lawsuit, and this is not the first time, you guys, not even close. So her going around threatening to sue people for defamation at the time was quite funny, and to be honest, it still is. And Dustin and Nick definitely were not the only ones laughing about the whole suing everyone that mentioned your name situation, Katie, because it was very outlandish and ironic due to the situation that you were currently in. And for that matter, the fact that you're trying to sit here and target them and spin this narrative that they pushed you to the edge of your mental health is insane to me, because there have been literally thousands of commentators talking about this situation. So to try to put that on Dustin and Nick alone is so crazy. To be honest, you need to take some accountability for your take in all of this, because you put yourself in this situation. No one else did it but you. And if it did affect your mental health, maybe you should learn something and stop repeating the same mistakes. Instead of trying to blame things on others, you need to take accountability for your own mental health and for the situation you put yourself in. Moving on though, Nick did respond to this tweet saying, "Not her trying to jump in and make this about her. We would actually have a case. You just have a case against yourself. Enjoy that." I'm sorry, but this was a perfect response from Nick, and I totally agree with what he said. Like I just mentioned a second ago, Katie did this to herself. No one else did it but her. I'm so sick and tired of hearing her try to play a victim in this situation. Nobody made her say the things she said. She is in control of herself, and there's a thing called free will, and Katie has it. The saddest part about all of this is Katie targets Nick and Dustin a lot, you guys, and it all boils down to jealousy. Katie cannot stand to see other people be more successful than her. I'm a firm believer that there is plenty of room for all of us here on YouTube, but unfortunately, Katie does not see things that way. If you surpass her at any level, she makes it her personal mission to try to ruin your reputation and your personal life. It's absolutely disgusting. I mean, I hate to keep bringing this up, but look at what she did to Leslie Bass, all because they were in the same niche, doing the same type of content, and Katie was terrified that Leslie might actually do better than her. Why? Because Leslie's actually likable, and I mean, I'm not trying to be nasty, but it's just the truth, you guys. Katie is not a likable person, and that's her own fault, no one else's, but she made it her mission to try to drag Leslie for everything she was worth, and I am just so thankful that Leslie did not lay down and take it. Katie then responded to Nick's tweet by saying, "Newsflash, Dustin and Nick have always been this way. Why were people okay with Dustin and Nick's behavior when they targeted people they don't like? But when they go after people they like, then they are bad. They are both willing to push false narratives for their friends," allegedly. Honestly, you guys, at this point, I don't even know what she's talking about. This is just her spinning a false narrative herself. Dustin and Nick hold their friends accountable. For example, look at Rich Lux when he was doing this disgusting behavior and treating his friends and everyone around him like crap. Dustin and Nick both on multiple occasions called him out for it. Dustin actually did a full-on video about the situation. And Rich Lux is not the only one. They call people out all the time within their own community and other bigger influencers as well, like Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, Trisha Paytas. They hold people accountable and they hold themselves accountable as well. Nick and Dustin both have done plenty of videos holding themselves accountable. So for her to come with this false narrative, at this point, it's just getting really old and stupid. It's like, I hate to be harsh, but honestly, if you're going to come with an argument, come with something that actually makes sense. Then Nick popped off with this response saying, "I thought someone who was in their own lawsuit and someone who allows their husband to go on their live stream referring to trans women as chicks with said something. Shut up and worry about yourself, Katie." But we know now that Katie's not going to address that. Of course not. If it has anything to do with her, Katie's just going to skim right on by it like it didn't happen. And the tweets just continue to go on and on with Katie saying, "Nick Snyder, I'm not scared of you. I'm tired of you and Dustin gleefully defaming and harassing me. You can sit and pick on a tiny channel. You always go after people you feel superior to because you are a damn coward." Y'all, how scary familiar does that sound to Miss Katie Joy herself? She does this literally all the time, going after smaller channels like Radiant Brit, the Collins family, Leslie Bass. Like, come on, girl. Then she says, "Sometimes it's more profitable to go with a lie than to look at the truth. Sadly, when views and clicks drive your income, the truth doesn't always matter to some people. I'm grateful to those that did believe in me and didn't just go with what was profitable." You know, Katie, it actually really is sad. You've done this on multiple occasions, even with the Tati Westbrook situation. You did what was getting you views. That's how you got in the defamation lawsuit to begin with. People were watching because they couldn't believe the things you were saying, so you continued to say them because you were getting views and clicks. And you have said on multiple occasions that that is what matters most to you because why? It drives your income. I will admit, however, it is sad to me that there are some people out there that dislike Katie so much that they will blindly defend something that isn't true. Take the Nat Kennett declaration, for example. From the very beginning, my very first video on the situation, I knew there was a lot of inconsistencies in that declaration and something about it was fishy. And even though I do not support Katie Joy and her disgusting behavior, I also cannot sit there and blindly defend something that has so many inconsistencies, you guys. So it was sad to see so many people blindly defend that situation when it was obvious that that wasn't the full story and that it had been messed with in some way. She continues to say, "The thing that angers me the most about what has happened in the past several months is lies. Literal lies have been believed about me. They have ruined my credibility to the point that I cannot even talk about YouTubers without people saying I'm lying." This is also where Katie decides to shift the blame onto someone else, and unfortunately in this situation it is our beloved Emily D. Baker. She kicks this off by responding to this tweet here that says, "You got YouTube lawyers poisoning the well too," failing to mention how cases can easily be dismissed because views. And her response to this was, "Yep, YouTube lawyers making legal cases way more dramatic and not explaining how anything submitted is an allegation and not proven." My opinions on this is going to be super short and sweet, you guys. Emily can do whatever the heck she wants on her channel. And furthermore, she has said on multiple occasions that anything submitted is an allegation and not proven. She literally says it at the beginning of every single one of her videos. And if Katie actually watched her videos, then she would know this. Moving on though, Katie continues with saying, Emily is a member of the bar and it's her ethical duty to treat counsel and officers of the court with respect. And she did not treat my attorney nor the judge respectfully. With her audience referring to our judge as Babs, you should always refer to her as Judge, period. Once again, here we have Katie trying to be the YouTube police and telling people what they can and cannot do on their channel. Who the heck does she think she is? That is Emily's channel. She can do whatever she wants on it and she can speak however she wants to speak. Also, just to clarify, this is once again Katie's opinion on something and she is trying to sell it as a fact. That is what Katie constantly does, and it's also what has gotten her in so much trouble on her channel and why she was in a defamation lawsuit in the first place. She continues saying, not only did she disparage me, but she routinely disparaged my attorney for minor mistakes, but always defended actions that were not professional on the other side. She even defended attorneys targeting people that dared to question them. That's not ethical and it's disturbing. I'm starting to think that Katie has obviously never even clicked on one of Emily's videos because this is just not the case, and I'm getting so sick of her spinning these false narratives trying to sell these as truth, you guys, because it isn't. On multiple occasions, Emily has questioned Salty's motives on his declarations and his filings, not understanding why he would do something that he done in his declaration or filings, and this whole targeting other people that have questioned them, that's ridiculous as well, because Emily does live streams for hours on end with thousands and thousands of people who do question Salty at times, and sometimes she even agrees with them. She gives these people a platform to share their questions and concerns. So I don't know where Katie is getting her information, but she just needs to stop. She continues to say she was never interested in the truth and she isn't licensed to practice law in Tennessee, nor has she ever tried civil cases. She's not an expert in civil law and really had no business claiming to be an attorney with expertise in these filings. Number one, Emily has said on multiple occasions that she wasn't an expert in civil law. Oh my gosh, you guys, like I can't even with Katie anymore. And you know, she has also said on multiple occasions that she is just like us, interested in the lawsuit, and she's here to just break down the legal jargon, which is exactly what she's done. She's never claimed to be an expertise in these filings, but she has helped us small people understand the filings a bit better, and I'm actually very grateful for her, so Katie just needs to go on somewhere. She continues by saying, we have dozens of her tweets stored of her disparaging me, encouraging harmful lies, and suggesting I've committed crimes of perjury or destruction of evidence, which never happened. People still believe I'm going to jail because of her coverage. This was never a criminal case. I'm gonna have to see those tweets, ma'am. That's what all I have to say is, Katie, I need to see the tweets. Go ahead and expose Emily, because I have watched her from day one, and Emily has been very careful to say that she is not ever saying that Katie was involved in any way whatsoever. Just because this is Katie's opinion does not mean it is the truth, you guys. And I feel like I have to scream this in her ear. I wish I could, truly, because this is just Katie's opinion. Other people may have this opinion as well, but I believe my opinion is Emily has done an incredible job in being very careful in the way that she says things. Continuing on, Katie says, I said it tonight and I'll say it again. Emily Baker is and continues to be biased. Believe the lies she spews and says she only reads court records. She was clear in her dislike for me, and she said as much on Twitter multiple times and mocked me. She helped create the circus. Okay, so the only thing you have on Emily is that she is biased. You made her that way, Katie. You started the Twitter drama. You are the one. Emily never said a word about Katie Joy until Katie Joy called her out on Twitter and on her YouTube channel. Oh, but we're going to forget about that, right, Katie? We're going to forget the part that you have played in any of this. How convenient it must be that you forget what part you play in every single situation. As for the circus that was created around this lawsuit, that's because you would not keep your mouth shut and you caused a lot of confusion. It's not Emily's job to clear up the confusion you started. Katie did also do a live stream on her second channel, a Q&A answering burning questions. It was 2 hours of pure boredom, you guys. And I know in this video I'm being extremely harsh, but it really was. I did not watch the whole thing because at this point I'm just really fed up and tired of this whole situation. I'm upset because it really is a situation where Katie is just never going to learn anything, and it's just so annoying. Pretty much the only thing I took away from what I did see of the live stream though is Katie does believe believe that this lawsuit was dismissed on all grounds, not just jurisdiction, and that's okay if she wants to spin that narrative. I don't see how that's possible when we didn't even get to the defamation part, but whatever, Katie, just keep on with your narrative. When it gets refiled in Minnesota, we'll see what happens then. She did say, however, she has no control what happens in the future, and I do believe, in my personal opinion, that Tati is going to refile in Minnesota. I don't believe that Tati would go through all of this trouble and just throw her hands up now after everything. So I do truly believe that we are going to see a filing in Minnesota very soon on defamation towards Miss Without a Crystal Ball. And on that note, I'm going to leave you guys with this Reddit thread that I seen the other day. I found it extremely interesting. Allegedly, if you go to Satsi's liked tweets, he liked a tweet that asked if they should expect a filing anytime soon. And in this person's opinion, that is a confirmation that there is going to be another filing soon, because why else would he like the tweet if this wasn't something that's in the works? I don't know, you guys. You leave your speculations in the comments down below. Do you believe that Tati is going to refile in Minnesota? If so, why? Also, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so and tapping the bell for post notifications. That way you are notified every single time I upload. I appreciate you guys to the moon and stars. And until the next time, guys, mwah, bye.